Urgent question. Priti Patel.
To ask the Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs if he'll make a statement on the UK's response to actions of the Iranian regime.
Falconer.
We have long had concerns over Iran's malign activity. Iran's continued support to aligned groups like Hezbollah and Hamas undermines regional stability. Their support for Russia's illegal war in Ukraine through the provision of UAVs and ballistic missiles, and they pose a threat to UK nationals, Iranian dissidents and Jewish people in the United Kingdom. This government will hold Iran accountable for its hostile activities. Since coming into office, the Home Secretary announced on the 19th of May that Jonathan Hall's review delivered recommendations to tackle state threats. We are committed to taking this forward, including through the creation of a new state threats prescription-like tool. In April, we sanctioned Iranian-backed, Swedish-based Foxtrot criminal network for their role in attacks against targets across Europe. In September, in response to Iran's transfer of ballistic missiles to Russia, we ended Iran's air services agreement and stopped Iran Air from flying directly into the UK. We placed Iran on the enhanced tier of FIRS, enhancing transparency regarding foreign influence in the UK. We have so far designated 31 individuals in relation to malign Iranian activity. The UK now has more than 450 sanctions against Iranian-linked individuals and entities, including the IRGC in its entirety.
Priti Patel.
Speaker, as we mark the 20th anniversary of the London terrorist attacks, the victims, survivors and their families and the emergency services who responded that day continue to be on our thoughts. 2 weeks have passed since the US airstrikes against Iran's nuclear facilities. Does the Minister have an assessment of their impact? And what is his response to the Iranian regime now prohibiting cooperation with the IAEA and their inspectors leaving Iran? Given Tehran's refusal to cooperate, is the Minister and the Department in discussions with partners about snapback sanctions being applied and other measures? Is he concerned that demonstrates that Iran will continue to pursue nuclear weapons and their entire programme? And with the information received from discussions with America, Israel and other intelligence partners, will the government finally come off the fence about those strikes and agree with this side of the House that they were absolutely necessary? On our interests in the region, can he assure us that he is taking continued steps to bolster the security of our military assets and personnel? And what assessment has he made of Iran's ballistic missile capabilities and the threats they may continue to pose to our interests? Madam Deputy Speaker, we agree that Iran can never have a nuclear bomb, but the regime is a fundamental menace in so many other ways, sponsoring terrorism across the Middle East and threatening our own country with sophisticated plots. What work is taking place across government to respond to the threats posed to dissidents in the UK and to those with family members in Iran who face persecution as the Iranian regime seeks to threaten and blackmail them? What more will he do to take down the finance structures propping up the regime's destabilising activities and to stand with the brave people of Iran, including human rights defenders, who face the most barbaric oppression? With the Iranian regime and its terrorist proxies in a weakened state due to Israel and America's actions, does the Minister agree that this is a moment for the government to publish a serious strategy to roll back the regime's malign influence? And finally, can the Minister give an update on the discussions he has had with partners about the US-led plans for a ceasefire in Gaza, freeing the hostages, aid access, and how to secure the removal of Hamas?
Minister.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and I thank the Right Honourable Lady for her questions. I won't provide, I'm afraid, a detailed commentary from the dispatch box on the extent of damage from the strikes for reasons that I'm sure the Right Honourable Lady and the rest of the House will understand. I can confirm we are in discussions about the snapback mechanisms. As the Prime Minister has said, as the Foreign Secretary has said, as I have said, we cannot see Iran get a nuclear weapon. Snapback is an important lever. We're talking with our E3 partners and indeed the Americans about what role snapback can play. We hope to see a diplomatic solution. That is ultimately the most enduring way to ensure that Iran does not get a nuclear weapon. But we will continue to consider all diplomatic tools, including snapback. The Right Honourable Lady asks a range of important questions too. I can confirm that we keep regional security questions, particularly in relation to our bases, under close review since I last had an opportunity to face across the dispatch box. There's clearly been quite a few changes in relation to events in the region, and including in relation to our travel advice. I recognise, for those with interest in the region, this has been a fraught period. I'm glad to see the ceasefire between Iran and Israel hold. We are encouraged by the reports on efforts to secure a Gaza ceasefire, but I'm not in a position to provide much further commentary at this stage from the dispatch box. And I won't go any further than we've already gone from the dispatch box on the strikes against Iran.